Hello. So, I have wanted to talk about this crap for a long time. First, let me just address my face. If you guys didn't know, my main channel has been full of spooky reactions for the entire month of October. Today was my final reaction, so I thought that while I filmed this video that we could just sit and talk and I could get ready for bed. Today, I'm finally going to be talking about everything that I have watched from the month of September all the way through to the end of October. I have watched a lot of stuff. I'm so excited to finally be able to speak about this with you guys. Let me know what you guys have watched. Let me know your opinions on things that I have watched. I'm so excited to just talk with you guys. So, this video is actually inspired by Spooky Astronauts, who does a monthly favorites video with movies that she's watched. Also, Let Me Explain and Zachary Shevich, who have a podcast, one of my favorite podcasts about movies. It's called Intercut, and every week they do a what we've been watching. So I have been using Letterboxd. This is not sponsored at all, but it is just an amazing way to keep track of what you watch and kind of have a diary, a movie diary, and to be able to share your opinions and read opinions of others. Oh, my ring light's not even on. Does that make a difference? Okay, anyways. So I'm gonna kind of pop up my actual review so that you guys can read it on the screen next to me as I'm talking about the movie. So very quickly, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of change my clothes, get into my pajamas, take these friggin' lashes off, holy crap, and kind of get comfortable because this is going to definitely be a longer video. So, 1 second.
Later.
Okay, we're back. I'm so excited because the main reason why I started this channel to begin with was to be able to talk about movies with you guys. I am so passionate about movies and what I watch and cinematography and obviously horror movies. The horror movies are what inspired me to make this entire channel. So it feels really good to be able to just kind of sit and relax and speak with you guys about what I've watched. Like I said, I've watched a lot. Things that are not logged on Letterboxd. Before I get into this, if you want to check out my Letterboxd, it is deadgrlYT, no spaces, no I in girl, just deadgrlYT. You'll see it. It is a turquoise background. My best friend Jacob drew a picture of me, and that's the picture. So, things that I watched that are not on Letterboxd. A couple things might be, but they're TV shows, and I want to get them while they're on the top of my head. I watched Big Little Lies season 1 and 2, loved every single minute of it. I don't necessarily think season 3 will come out based on how it ended, but I would love to see a season 3. Also, I watched Orange is the New Black, the final season, bawled my eyes out like a little baby. Anyways, now that I am comfy and ready to go, I also watched The Sinner, season 1 and 2, fantastic. Cannot wait for season 3. I am so excited that Matt Bomer is going to be in it. I feel like there's something else, another show that I watched. This season of Grey's Anatomy is kind of underwhelming, and I think someone's going to die, and my prediction is it's going to be Dr. Bailey. Okay, I have watched a lot more things than I thought I would. And some I'm going to get into detail and some that I won't. First up, on September 2nd, I watched The Last Exorcism. Thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I think it's one of the better found footage films. I hated it the first time that I saw it, but rewatching it, I really enjoyed it. Next, on September 3rd, I watched Lady World, finally. And I have very mixed opinions about Lady World. I was so unbelievably excited going into Lady World because I felt like it was going to be a very surreal journey. I'm very for weird, feminist, what's that movie? Pussy Riot? I am a slut for camera work. And that is what this movie really did a good job on, was amazing camera work. The performances were odd, but I don't feel that the story went anywhere. As my review says, I only gave it a 4 out of 5 because of the Kubrick like camera work and the way the actors kind of like delved into the strange and unusual. It's a weird movie. It's an odd film. It's more of an art house film, I would say. I don't recommend because it was so unbelievably boring and weird. But if you like that kind of thing, check it out. Maya Hawke was definitely the best part. On the 8th of September, I rewatched Repo the Genetic Opera for like the 6th, 7th time. It's definitely one of my favorite movies, and if you check out my letterboxd, it's on my home screen as one of my favorite movies. So on the 8th of September, I watched Beetlejuice for the first time. It was so good. I think Michael Keaton is the best. Like, he was the best they could have picked for that role. He was just so, like, charismatic, but, like, kind of hot at the same time. I really enjoyed that movie, and I'm kind of glad that I waited so long to watch it because I felt like I understood it a lot better. And I don't think I would have, like, I've seen the movie as a kid, but, like, I didn't really pay attention to it, so seeing it now, I understand a lot of the jokes and a lot of the references, and it was just a really fun movie. Next, on the 9th, I watched Rat Race, and I watched that with Marcel. That was a rewatch for me. I used to love that movie when I was a kid, and when Marcel had said he'd never seen it, I was like, all right, bitch, we are watching this shit right now. And he laughed his ass off for the entire movie. I think it's just a fun little movie that you can throw on and have on for background noise. If you haven't seen it and you like a good, fun, journey comedy, definitely check out Rat Race. Also, on the 9th was one of the most disappointing experiences of my life. I started to watch Summer '09, and Summer '03, after watching The Act, I really enjoyed Joey King, but this movie did not do it for me. I probably only got maybe a half an hour in, and I was bored out of my face, and once they brought the little church boy in, I was like, no, I'm done. I want a church girl that go to church and read her Bible. Okay, anyways, on September 10th, this was one of my favorites by far. I watched K through 12 by Melanie Martinez, and I had never listened to her music before watching. I knew of like the Timothy drama, but after watching that, I can appreciate her as an artist so much more. That was probably one of the most phenomenal experiences of my life. I laughed, I cried, I bawled my friggin' eyes out. Oh my goodness, did I ever. The orange juice scene where they trade eyeballs. Oh my god, I never cried so hard in my life. Some really good songs in that movie. And it definitely deals with mature, relatable themes. I think it's a very important movie and a very important album. It's kind of like cheesy, but the underlying messages are really important. I enjoyed it. I gave that one a 4 out of 5. A lot of these movies are like 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5, because I try to keep my watch list like top notch, So on the 11th of September, I rewatched Freddy vs. Jason. Love that movie. I bought it on DVD and I had to watch it right away. And then on the 15th, in one full day, I watched the show Unbelievable, and that was the show that I forgot about. Holy bejeebus. That was such a treat to be able to watch Toni Collette for the entirety of that season. What a phenomenal show. I was blown away by how good it actually was, how much it, as someone who was, I don't really want to like talk about it too much. One day I will, but as someone who has been through sexual assault and no one believed, that I think this show is also very important. It's really sad and at times hard to watch, but it's a really, really good show. Then on September 23rd, I watched Scream for the first time. Oh goodness, I loved it. I loved it so much. I had seen, like Beetlejuice, I had seen bits and pieces of it when I was a kid, but I never really understood it. But kind of studying it for so long and watching so many people talk about the themes and like what's going on in the movie and like underlying stuff in the movie, I understood the movie and I understood like the tropes and like, and my favorite scene by far was Jamie Kennedy calling out Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween. That is the best scene of the movie. On the 24th of September, I rewatched Ouija, Origin of Evil. Mike Flanagan, fuck me up. One of my favorite directors by far. He is so good. I think this one like the first Ouija sucks compared to this one. This one is so good. It's so scary. Doris scares the fucking shit out of me. I watched this actually while I was waiting, because when I go to my endocrinologist, which is my cancer doctor, I have to wait hours. Oh my god, that's terrifying. I have to wait hours to be able to see him sometimes. And the last time, which was the 24th when I went to go see him, I ended up watching a full movie and I had headphones in, so like people probably saw me jump at a couple of the jump scares, but whatever. It was such a great movie. And I'm able to watch all these movies because on my breaks, like when I get a break at work, within like 3 days I can watch a full movie on Netflix. So that's what I did for a couple of these movies. Okay. On September 25th, I finally watched Midsummer, and I watched it 3 times since. It's so good. Oh my goodness. I have my entire first reaction filmed. I'm just going to like record kind of my thoughts and then I'll show you guys my entire, like I was recording my reaction from start to finish when I watched it for the first time, and it was wild. Absolutely wild. I had a great time. And then I rewatched it with Marcel, and he was like, is that happening? Is that happening? So we really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I absolutely cannot wait to share my opinions and thoughts about it with you guys and start the I finally watched series. Oh my goodness, I feel like I've been talking about it forever, but now that Halloween is over, I can finally relax and start doing things that I want to, or that I have wanted to do for a long time. So to kick off October, I started the month on the 3rd with watching The Killing of a Sacred Deer, which happens to be one of my favorite movies of all time. I just recently bought it on DVD. You guys will see that in DVD haul number 11, I believe. I have nothing bad to say about this movie. I love Yorgos Lanthimos. He is definitely one of my favorite directors, as well as Mike Flanagan. He just has such a specific style. He actually has a short film out right now. I have it written down. It is called Nimic, and I want to watch it so bad, so I'm going to see if I can watch that within the next couple of weeks. I'm actually going to be going, oh my god, I'm going to the Windsor International Film Festival! I'm so excited. I'm going to be going to see 2 films because it's kind of expensive to go. But 2 films that I have been dying to see are Portrait of a Lady on Fire and Parasite, which Portrait is a French film and Parasite is a South Korean film. Guarantee that these 2 movies will probably be the best movies of the decade. I have heard such fantastic things. I have heard nothing bad about both of these movies, and I am ready to just shut up and take my money at this point. On the 3rd, I also watched Hereditary, but I would consider that like I finished it on that day because I watched that at work. That was my 3rd rewatch of Hereditary. And I wanted to watch that because I had just watched Midsummer. So rewatching Hereditary just felt right to me. I love Hereditary. Again, I have nothing bad to say about Hereditary. I think Ari Aster might be another one of my favorite directors. Even though he only has 2 movies, both of those movies stuck with me in ways that I didn't think they would stick with me. I feel like I'm never going to get this glitter off my face. This was the worst decision I've ever made in my life. Okay, next, In the Tall Grass. Oh, In the Tall Grass. I watched this on September 7th. I hated it. I didn't hate it, but I hate time loop movies. There's nothing more that I hate than time loop movies. This one was done pretty well, but it was based on a novella, which is a shorter novel, and the way that it was paced, I just think that they overdid the time loop stuff. The ending, I really enjoyed the ending. Spoiler, trigger, whatever. The baby eating scene was my favorite part of the movie. But other than that, I really did enjoy it. Patrick Wilson was a fucking nut job, and I really didn't enjoy the fact that I spent an hour and a half listening to people just yell for one another. It was a waste of my time. Next, on October 8th, I watched Scream 2 for the first time, and Scream 2 was 100% the best one, okay? Hands down, better than Scream 1. Scream 3 wasn't as good as Scream 2. I think it would go 2, 1, 3. No. 2, 1, 4, 3. Let me know if you agree. I really enjoyed Scream 2, though. I liked the beginning of it. I liked the entire premise of the movie. I thought it was very well done. Also on the 8th, I watched Night Hunter, which was a spectacular, twisty ride. I don't want to say too much about this movie because if you haven't heard of it, go watch a trailer for it, and then I guarantee you'll be like, yeah, bitch, I'm watching this movie. It was so good, and the twist of this movie was it made the whole watching of the movie so much more worthwhile. The twist was I don't know how else to describe it to you other than did that just fucking happen? On the 9th, I rewatched Contagion, and that is another one that I watched at work while on my breaks. That one took me about 3 days to watch. It was quite a long movie, but I really enjoyed that one. I watched it a couple of years ago when I was with my ex, but I don't really remember it because, a lot of shit was going on at that time. So being able to rewatch a lot of these movies in my own solitude has been so nice. But I really enjoyed Contagion, and if anything, I think that's how the world's going to end. Fucking scary. Okay, on the 12th of October, I watched probably one of my favorite movies of the year. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I don't know, a lot of these movies ended up being so high on my list that I have a hard time placing them, and the death of Dick Long was so good. And if you guys, I don't want to ruin it for you because I didn't know. Obviously, Dick Long dies, okay? I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. The movie is called The Death of Dick Long. But when you fucking find out how Dick Long dies, you're just what the fuck? What did I just watch? And the moment when the coroners are you're just it's so good. It was so well done. The character Earl was so relatable and so hilarious. Not the Confederate flag relatable, but his character, the mannerisms and the way he spoke was so funny and relatable. I loved it. A little bit of a hard watch, a little bit boring at some points, but I'm okay with that. Next, on the 13th of October, I finally watched Searching, and this hands down was one of the best movies of the decade. I cried so hard within the first 5 minutes of that movie. Anytime cancer was brought up in a movie, it hits a spot with me that I can't stop crying. Obviously, I had cancer, so it wasn't as bad and I didn't die, obviously, but just, knowing a slice of what it feels like to have cancer, I can resonate with that so much more on screen. and the beginning of Searching fucked me up. Oh god. And then just that wild ride of the movie, and it was so well done. I loved every minute of it. John Cho, man, he's going to be in the new Grudge, and I wasn't excited for it, but I'm kind of excited for it now. On the 15th of October, I watched Scream 3, which was a pleasant surprise that both Henry and McDreamy from Grey's Anatomy were in it. I wasn't expecting that. I didn't really know much about Scream 3 before going into it. Loved the ending, loved the twist. Didn't think it was as good as 2, like I said, but it was still a really great movie. On the 16th, I watched a little documentary called Ghosts of Sugarland. It's really sad. It's a true story. I don't really want to talk too much about it because it's kind of polarizing, but if you guys have 15 minutes and you want to check out a great film, a great documentary that's narrated by a group of friends who lost a friend to some scary shit, definitely check that one out. It's on Canadian Netflix. I don't know about US Netflix, but Canadian Netflix for sure. Another one that just came on Canadian Netflix. I watched this the morning that it came out. I watched Eli on the 18th of October. I surprisingly liked Eli. I thought it was kind of boring, and I had a lot of like conspiracies and thoughts about what the movie was going to be like, but the ending I did not see coming. I really enjoyed it. The kid was actually a good actor, and Max from Stranger Things was in it, and she played a character that I didn't see coming. It was a pretty cute movie. It was a cute Halloween film. I'm calling it cute, but like the kid was a fucking... I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay. On the 19th of October, I watched It for like the 4th time. The first one, not the old one, but like the Bill Skarsgård one. Marcel had never seen it, and we are probably going to end up going to see It Chapter 2, hopefully before it leaves theaters. Maybe not. I don't know. I just wish there was a theater closer to me. My dream is to open up a theater that like plays movies that people request and they want to see, not just shit that's being played at a theater, you know? Anyways, a few of the jump scares got Marcel, and I think it was so funny to watch him like jump a little bit, but I really enjoyed that movie. I can't wait to see the sequel. So, on the 20th of October, I went a little crazy. I believe I had that day off because I watched 4 movies. First, I don't know why, but when I saw this movie, I became obsessed with it. The name of it is In the Shadow of the Moon, and it's a Netflix film, and I kind of obsessed. I'm not gonna watch it because it sounds shitty. It's about a guy chasing a female serial killer. But once you get into it, it is so much more. There are so many layers to this film. I can't even, like, this movie is an onion, and you just have to peel that onion back and just cry with it. It's so good. And it's one of those movies, like, you just don't see anything coming. It was so well done. It was so beautiful. It was so full circle, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Next is a movie that has worked its way up into my top 3 for movies. A beautifully done satire, Sorry to Bother You, with like the mid to end of that movie is just like, am I seeing what the fuck I think I'm seeing? I have never seen such large penises in my life. Oh God, I felt a little violated watching that, but I mean, it's such a great movie. It is a beautiful satire. I think everything about that movie was so good. Glenn from The Walking Dead is in it. A bunch of great, like the cast was just so well done, and it's such a good movie. The coloring in it, the music, everything about it. The rap scene comes out of nowhere, and you're just like, and I watched it and then I rewatched it because it was so good. Next, I watched Wounds, and this was a Hulu movie, and I was very excited to watch it. I had like high hopes. Army Hammer, bitch. I had high hopes for Army Hammer, and he let my ass down, and that was one of the worst movies I have seen since summer '08. Summer '03. Oh my god. '08 was just a really good year for me. Anyways, yeah, Wounds was a weird movie. Wounds wasted my entire time. Really cool visuals. Piscatella from Orange is the New Black is in it, and I cannot stand him. Anyways, weird premise. Made me absolutely, like, the characters were so unbelievably unlikable. Like, it was laughable. It just confirmed my dislike for Dakota Johnson, and it was such a weird waste of my time. Next was a documentary, Tell Me Who I Am, on Netflix. I'm not going to say much about this film other than if you haven't seen Abducted in Plain Sight, go ahead and watch that and then come back and watch this. They're both really fucked up. On the 21st, I rewatched Booksmart because Marcel had not seen it. I watch a lot of movies without him, and then I just don't tell him that I watch them, and then I rewatch them and act like it's my first time watching them. But I like to watch movies alone, okay? Sue me! Anyways, I loved it. I think the second time watching it, it was better than the first time. I think I watched it first on... Yeah, I watched it first on August 26th, and then I rewatched it on October 21st. So I really enjoyed it enough to watch it that close together, and I normally don't enjoy comedies that much. Speaking of comedies, Deadpool 2. I don't know why it took us so long to watch it, but we finally watched it on the 26th, and that movie was the best Marvel movie that I've seen. Hands down, out of all the Marvel movies that have come out, that was the best one. That just had so much heart. It had so much soul, so many Wolverine jokes, so much comedy. Like, it was so good. And I felt like it was the truest to the comic books. We have a lot of Deadpool comic books, so I understand what the character is actually like and how he was written. And I think Ryan Reynolds really does it justice. On the 27th of October, I watched Them That Follow, and I was waiting for that movie to come out for a long time, and I was kind of underwhelmed. It was an okay premise, but it just didn't do what I thought. Like, it wasn't as effective as I thought it was going to be, which was very underwhelming. It was a pretty good movie. It was a good watch. If you like cult films, Walter Goggins, I believe that's his name, like, he fucks it up as a weird cult leader. But, I mean, other than that, it's kind of drags. And last but not least, okay, The Girl on the Third Floor. That was a weird movie. Okay, CM Punk, the wrestler, Paul Brooks, I believe his name is now. He's going by his real name. Was just weird. So, great camera work. And like I wrote in my review here, Cronenberg-esque effects. Like, the house was like, I don't want to be vulgar, but the house was leaking semen. It was a weird watch, but it all was worth it for the third act. From like 45 minutes or like 45 minutes left, like the end of the movie was the best part. It made me feel really gross and icky watching it, but the actual, like, creepy girl, her makeup was done so well, like, the effects were done really well. I just couldn't take CM Punk seriously. I used to have such a lady boner, and I wrote that explicitly in my review. Like, my walls at my old house with my parents, where I used to live, were plastered with wrestling photos. Like, when I was in grade school, I loved wrestling. WWE, ECW, like, SmackDown, Raw, like, all that shit was my shit. And I loved CM Punk so much that a lot of my walls were plastered with his face. This fucking movie ruined him for me. I had like a vision, like I sealed away my memory of CM Punk and I left it there to just live and this just brought it back and stomped on it and killed it. And I would not recommend this. Like, I would, like, watch it. It's a fucking weird film, but like, I would not have paid to see it. So that is everything that I have watched from September into October. I'm going to be doing this every month. I'm not going to like keep this setup or anything. I'm going to like make sure I have a good setup when I do this video every month, because I think this is a good way for me to talk about movies, and not just make one singular review video. What am I talking about? I'm so tired. I have to work in the morning. I'm full of glitter. I'm going to go shower and go to bed. Let me know what you guys have been watching. Let me know your thoughts on anything that I have watched. If you want more information on anything, let me know. I'd be happy to, let you know a little more info about a movie if you're interested. And I think that is it. If you have any questions, let me know. I don't think you will. Check out my main channel. Links are all in the description down below, and I will see you in my next video. Sayonara, suckers.